Hi there. Well, welcome back to my vlog. This week I thought we'd talk about step one and how do you know you're an alcoholic or an addict? Because that's something I get all the time when people find out. People are very curious to know when they find out that you're in recovery. It's like, well, shoot, how did you know you were an alcoholic? I mean, let's face it. In society, everybody drinks pretty much. So, you know, lots of people drink to excess. What is the point in which I know I'm an alcoholic and versus I just have a problem with drinking alcohol? And for me, it really came down to the understanding that when I put alcohol in my system, I can't stop. My body doesn't process alcohol like a normal person. Once it's in, it's off and running, and I'm kind of going. I can't stop, no matter how hard I might try. It was explained to me when I got into the program, 12-step program, that I've got an obsession of the mind coupled with an allergy of the body. There's an old joke amongst alcoholics that says, I'm allergic to alcohol. I break out in handcuffs. Because I do. I definitely break out in handcuffs when I drink alcohol. Get myself in a lot of trouble. They say that there's 3 fates of an alcoholic. Jail, institutions, or death. Take your pick. So, an alcoholic usually, or an addict, or whatever you might be dealing with, usually has to get pretty close to one of those 3, if not reach one of those 3 before he or she is willing to make a change. For me, I really got to that place of, oh my gosh, what the heck am I going to do? I don't know how to live life with alcohol, and I definitely don't know how to live life without alcohol. I've lost all control. Oh my gosh, I'm an alcoholic. And because for years I wouldn't label myself an alcoholic. I was only willing to call myself a problem drinker because I had a problem with alcohol. I couldn't stop once I started. But I would definitely not want to label myself an alcoholic. In fact, I remember I read a book because I knew I needed to quit drinking because it was becoming really bad. And the book was called How to Quit Drinking. I was like, oh, good, this is what I need. So I started reading the book, opened it up, and I said, okay, this is this. And I was like, yes, this is me. I get to the conclusion. I was like, okay, what's it say to do? I'm so excited. I finally get my answer. And then it goes to the conclusion. It's like, you are an alcoholic. You need to get help. I'm like, this book doesn't know what it's talking about. Slam the book closed, put it on the shelf with all my other self-help books. Because I had plenty of them. I knew there was just something wrong with me. You'll often hear people say, the first step in recovery is admitting you have a problem. It's not admitting you have a problem. Anybody suffering with an addiction or anything like that, they know they have a problem. They can admit they have a problem. It's admitting that they're powerless over the problem. That's where that really comes in. I'm powerless over alcohol. My life has become unmanageable. That's the first step. That's admitting. Not only admitting, but accepting. Finally accepting. You know what? I am powerless over alcohol and my life has become unmanageable. What now? What do I do now? I surrender. I give up. I don't know what to do. And that's when you're teachable. That's when you're willing. And that's when you're going to be able to start a new life that you never dreamed. Pain is the cost of admission for this stuff. Nobody willingly comes in and wants to be an alcoholic or drug addict or whatever you might be having. Not once when I was hosting shows for Nickelodeon did this ever happen. Hey, Billy, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be an alcoholic. Never saw that. So, if you're an alcoholic, addict, it's okay. It's okay. I think part of the reason I didn't want to be an alcoholic was the stigma attached to it. And I'm here to tell you, there's plenty of us out there, and plenty of us, you'd be surprised, all the people walking around who are an alcoholic or an addict living a fairly normal life in recovery today. there's hope. There's help outside of your addiction or disease. I joke, my dad on the cruise decided he was going to do a little experimentation with all, because he could drink for free, so he's going to try all the different types of alcohols out there. So I remember we were sitting in the lounge one night, and he's like, the waiter came up, was like, what can I get you to drink? And my dad's like, I hear that they've got this thing called a Manhattan. Can I try this Manhattan? They bring him a Manhattan. He tried it. Oh, okay, that's interesting. What about this mojito? What's a mojito? Dad would go, that's interesting. I don't really like it, but finally, towards the end of the week, he's like, I think I'm going to try this thing called the Rusty Nail. And so he tried the Rusty Nail. He's like, oh, that's terrible. Oh, you know what? This ends it. I'm done with my experimentation. I don't want to drink anymore. This ended my experiment. Whereas I was sitting there thinking to myself, yeah, you know what? The alcoholic would have been like, this is terrible. I want another. Give me another. In fact, I can get this down. I love the way it makes me feel. I didn't care how it tasted, as long as it made me feel it. What happened in here? It's like what got me going. That's what I cared about. I didn't care about the taste. First time I drink beer, it's like, oh, this is gross. But I want more. Can't get enough. So that was a big difference between me knowing I'm an alcoholic and my dad, who's not an alcoholic and just can put it away after he has a bad drink. And here's the irony. This week when I was in the driveway, I looked on the ground, and what do I see? There is a rusty nail, a literal rusty nail just laying on the ground. I'm like, okay, that's my reminder. So I picked it up, I put it in my purse, and that's my reminder. I'm an alcoholic. I can't take a drink today. I'm not wired like a normal person. But by the grace of God, here I sit and I get to share my message of recovery with you. So if you're an alcoholic, if you are an addict and you're not sure, here's how you know. If you can't stop, even though it's causing problems in your life, chances are you're an alcoholic, you're an addict. If you desperately want to quit drinking but just can't stop, no matter what, chances are you're an alcoholic. If it's causing you all to lose friends, family, do things that you normally would never, ever in a million years do, chances are you're an alcoholic. Just try to put it down. See what happens. If you can't, then you're an alcoholic. And it's okay. It's not a death sentence. It's a life sentence. And it's an amazing life you'll ever have is when you step into recovery. So I wish this for you today. If you're not an alcoholic, have a wonderful day. Enjoy your weekend. If you're an alcoholic addict in recovery, enjoy your weekend as well. And I will see you next week. Bye.